there is no one traditional way of being an artist. Like, I don't think a lot of us really know what we're doing, and everyone's just finding their own way and seeing what works and what meshes. I thought it would be nice to do a little get to know me, seeing as a lot of you probably only really see the work that I create rather than the me behind the works. I feel like I haven't really talked too much about myself online. I used to have this mindset that I kind of just wanted my art to speak for itself, but then I kind of realized that it was just limiting mindset because art's a shared experience, you know? I asked you guys on my broadcast channel on Instagram if there was anything you guys wanted to know about me or my work or anything really, and I had gotten a lot of DMs over the years to talk more about my process and how I got here, so I thought it was only fitting. Hi, future Vanessa here. So I'm currently editing my video right now, and I realized that I didn't properly introduce myself, and I thought that would be a bit confusing for those of you who only know me for the work that I've made and nothing about me, the artist, so I thought I would do a proper introduction. So yeah, hi, my name is Vanessa. You can call me V, either is fine. And I'm an artist based in Melbourne, Australia. I was born on July 22nd, which makes me a Cancer baby, and I am 24 years old now. I'm half Indonesian, half Vietnamese. And what else? I have been doing art for 4 years now, and it's been a real fun ride. So thank you for coming along. Please enjoy the rest of the show. Get your popcorn or your tea and just thank you. How would you describe yourself in 3 words? Creative, intuitive, and sensitive. What is the meaning behind your artist name, V question mark? I have gotten this question so many times over the years, validly, and it's kind of a fun question to leave unanswered since the meaning is kind of reinforced by the question, hence the question mark. But I will answer it for you today. I think I was maybe 15 or 16. I was hanging out with my friends somewhere and we were at the lift waiting for the lift to go up. And so when we were waiting, the lift had symbols like arrows going up and down, and these arrows looked like V's. It was flashing while it was coming down. I remember taking a photo of it because I thought it was weirdly entrancing, and maybe because I was a bit egotistical and it reminded me of a V. I went to post it on my Finsta back then because it was just a really nice aesthetically pleasing photo, and I remember randomly deciding to put a question mark next to it, and thus the question mark was formed. I think the symbol of a question mark has always kind of resonated with me because I'm someone who likes questions and the unknown and paradoxes. And then on, I would put that symbol on everything: my school diary, my clothes, my bags, my skin. Sorry, mum. And I guess it kind of just became synonymous with me. So back when I was posting my artworks online to a handful of people who were following my little art account, I would use the V question mark kind of as a sign off or a signature at the end of my paintings because I like the anonymity it kind of gave me. And I think over time I gave it some sort of personalized meaning to me, where it was how I saw the world in relation to me. Like I, just like everyone else, exist like a question as an open-ended identity that's always evolving and changing based on our emotions and our experiences and connections. But yeah, I guess that's how V question mark was formed. What is my MBTI? Honestly, I feel like you'd be able to guess that just based on how I answered that previous question, but I am not INFP. What is your favorite type of music? I always find this really hard to answer because I have no idea. I just like what I like. I don't necessarily listen to one artist religiously, but in terms of like my most favorite prized possession songs, they would be I Really Want to Stay at Your House by Rosa Walton and Hallie Coggins. Sparkle by Radwimps. That will be the song that will be playing at my wedding when I'm walking down the aisle. And and Youth by Glass Animals. Do you have any other hobbies except art? Is art your only passion? Aside from painting, I've been learning Japanese for about 4 years. I think the practice of learning a language and gaining this new perspective on the world is just so nice, and it brings me a lot of joy. I also love watching anime, hence the Japanese, napping, Oh, and I specifically love the experience of going to a cinema and watching a movie. How did you become interested in art? I think I've always had a love for art ever since I was young, and I think it stemmed from this incessant need to create and curate every single thing that I came across. I think that I've always been interested in creative pursuits, and it really did help that my parents did nurture this creative side of me. They would get me crayons and soft pastels and colored pencils when I was little, since I showed zero interest in gaming or reading or anything of that nature. So yeah, I just always liked creating. Did you go to art school? No, I actually didn't. I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts, like humanities, and I majored in philosophy and psychology. If you weren't an artist, what would you be doing? Well, probably be pursuing something within the course I graduated in. I was dead set on becoming a psychologist since I thought I wanted to be that for the longest time, like I think since I was 12, because I really like the mind and understanding people and helping people. But as I underwent my undergrad, my certainty about pursuing psych kind of wavered a little, and I just didn't know if it was the right fit for me by the time I graduated, because I was realizing that me choosing to pursue psych came out of this sense of suitability rather than like a genuine desire or passion. But practicality is not the best motivator in life, and now I'm an artist. And don't get me wrong, I love psychology. I don't know, down the line I might pursue it in a way that I don't even expect, but eventually, who knows, I could mix both. We don't know what the world has in store. For now, I'm happy and content focusing on art. How did you start your journey as an artist? I don't think I ever really told the story about how I came to be here. I think it was around 2019, like my first year of university, when I started painting properly. Like I'd always been doing some sort of arty thing, but this was like the first time I was really focusing on one medium. It was purely out of just wanting a creative outlet when I was studying. But by 2020, it was COVID and lockdown hit. It was pretty restricted for us in Melbourne, and so it meant more time painting. That meant that I amassed a ridiculous amount of canvases over that time, which I just had nothing to do with. And so at that time, my friends would introduce me to TikTok. They would tell me to post on this clock app, and I was like kind of dismissing it because it was cringy at the time and I was a sheep. But then eventually, obviously, I caved and I started posting, and maybe like my third video, I remember I was at work and I was working at Muji at the time, and so I would go into the little stock room and go on my phone as we do, and I just noticed that my notifications were like buzzing insanely. I was having a look at it and I'm like, oh my god, and one of my paintings went viral, and that was insane to me, having that many eyes all at once. It was just really exciting, and it was so meaningful when I reached even like 500 followers on TikTok. It was just because it was like this like, looking back now, it's just like how far you've come, Vanessa. But yeah, and so from then on I would keep posting on TikTok and Instagram, and eventually it would start growing quite rapidly actually. But do keep in mind this was around 2021 to 2022. So the TikTok algorithm was really volatile back then. So there was definitely an aspect of good timing to it as well as luck, and a bit of nice art, I guess. Last year when I decided that I would become a full-time artist. I guess in my head there was no better way to declare this and I guess prove this to the world and myself than to hold an extravagant exhibition. And that's what I did with Dreamscapes. Being able to pursue something so freeing and expressive as art is such a blessing, but I also get to make it my livelihood. That's what I'm hoping. That's not to say that there haven't been any lows or concerns about my future, because there are, persistently so. I guess there's this drive to explore and expand, and this is me following through with that. So yeah. What is your favorite color to work with? I love this question because I love colors. My favorite colors of all time are indigo and lilac, but like the pinky lilac, not the purpley lilac. But generally when I'm painting, I guess I gravitate towards those, but I'm very aware that I gravitate towards light phthalo green. Do I have it here? But for palettes and color combinations, I generally love working with colors that don't make sense with each other at first, like pink with gray or brown with blue. But yeah, I love unexpected pairings in everything in life. I'm thinking about making a YouTube video about how I pick my colors and how I choose them. But yeah, let me know if that's something you're interested in seeing. How would you describe your art style in one sentence? This is a weighted question. I would describe my art in one sentence as a kind of like a lucid dream a fairy is having. Do you paint every day? What do you do when you're not making art? Funnily enough, I think I paint a lot less than I used to, which is just kind of how it is. But it's representative of the fact that I have a lot of projects in the making that are really fun and that require more of my time, I suppose. I have a schedule for the week that I make where each day is a different task that I'm focusing on, where, for example, like Monday is admin and project planning, or finances and upkeep. Tuesday is researching for my Volume 2 magazine. But generally I would like set out one whole day to paint, because if I don't set that out, then I think I'll always prioritize doing other sorts of admin work, just because I feel like painting feels like such a joy and a treat that it doesn't feel like I'm working hard, if that makes sense, and that I should be doing other things. I don't know, it's a whole thing. But yeah, so having this schedule frees me up for the evenings and all the weekends to paint and create things. When I'm not doing art or work or anything related to that, what am I usually doing? I'm usually napping, going for walks, and just hanging out with my friends. What is your dream project or collaboration? Manifestation time. It has always been my biggest dream since I started art, to collaborate with Mecca, specifically to do their annual holiday packaging. If you don't know what Mecca is, it's kind of like Sephora, but the Australian makeup conglomerate. They do these yearly packaging for their carry bags where they usually have an Australian artist, and I want to be that artist. I am here, Mecca. Please work with me. That's one dream I would love to see come to fruition. Anything where I can collaborate and create with other people, I think fundamentally where I would find joy in life. So yeah, where do you see your art career in 5 years? Babe, I could not tell you. I know in my heart I see it thriving and flourishing, but other than that, I have no idea. There might be a lot of bumps along the way, but I'm gonna be there for it. But honestly, every year that I've started this career, I have had no idea what would be in store for the next year. Yet it always turns out to be something fun and exciting and like oddly serendipitous, like each step naturally leading to the next thing. I'm just learning to go with the flow and leaning into opportunities when they come my way. What do you hope people feel or experience when they see your art? I guess the same sort of things that I look for when something resonates with me. So I guess understood, uplifted, and maybe peaceful. What advice would you give to someone just starting out as an artist? I want to keep in mind when I'm answering this question that I myself don't really feel like I'm necessarily there yet or where I want to be. Like, I know outwardly I might have a growing online presence and so many lovely supporters who are willing to see the value in my work, but at the same time I think there is so much learning for me to do that I'm still at that stage where I think I'm a student of life and of this new world of being an artist, specifically because like in this modern time there is no one traditional way of being an artist. I don't think a lot of us really know what we're doing, and everyone's just finding their own way and seeing what works and what meshes. And I think it's amazing in that regard. I've always remembered this one thing this artist said. I cannot for the life of me remember who, but they said to not follow anyone else's advice. That's not to say to not listen to it or learn to comprehend it, but rather don't take it as the one sole truth, as if that's the only way to become a successful artist. There's never been one right way to do life, and the same goes for art. There's never been one right way to be a successful artist. There are so many people that are going to tell you how to be the most famous artist, or how to sell your work better, or how to just create more meaningful work, ultimately it's only you who can define that for yourself. Because remember, art is a deeply, deeply personal experience and practice. And what works for one artist might not work for you. What they determine as success might not be the same for you. Take in what feels meaningful to you and discard what doesn't. Because remember, the beauty of being an artist lies in being able to carve out your own way in life, whether unconventional or unexpected. Both art advice and life advice from someone who's still learning. But yeah, those are all the questions that I'll answer today. Thank you so much for sending them through. If I haven't answered like a really big question, it's probably because I want to cover it in a video. So you'll see that soon. But thank you. Bye.